Is that him?
What's up?
What's up?
I made
You made
Can you hear me?
it. Sorry about that.
Oh no,
I'm
no, no, you're good.
23 and not learning anything.
No, you're good. A lot of people have a problem with it. It's very weird because like you gotta like go to your notifications and stuff. It's like it's a pretty like weird process. It's like it's weird. I don't know. Are
Like,
you ready? Do you mind if we ask you some questions and stuff real quick, or?
ask me whatever your heart's desire.
All right. So what got you into wrestling in the first place?
So, a long ago, and I mean early 2000s, long ago. I was actually my dad used to show me old VHS tapes of WCW and ECW. And the thought of becoming a professional wrestler was there, but I had other like goals I wanted to
Hmm.
do. And as I got older, because I actually grew up in Downriver, so I was a Southgate kid, they told me, well, for what you want to do, you got to have good grades. And I don't like school. So I was like, well, I wonder what I could do instead. And what pushed me to actually become a professional wrestler, what I actually did it, was I watched WrestleMania 30.
Hmm.
And my favorite all-time wrestler, hands down, The Undertaker. And the moment where your hero loses, the greatest streak in professional wrestling history, loses
Yeah.
like that, it pushed something in me to actually want to do this. And ever since then, it was you be at shows,
Hmm.
you do what you can, you learn, and you break in however you can and just help out the promotions that are near you. And there was a lot of promotions at the time in Downriver, but you know, um, I just started getting more involved with a lot of companies at the time, and I would just help them out after shows, tearing down the ring, learning how to tear down the ring, learning from all types of veterans, and just finding ways to get trained and everything like that.
Yeah. That's really cool.
that's really good advice.
So like,
Yeah. The falling
you said that
accent.
the Undertaker was your favorite. Did he have any like aspect in your career at all? Like, did you like look up to him kind of in a way, or?
Yeah, yeah, immensely. Like the most common thing I'm known of, at least in like the Downriver area, I was the goth kid. Even though I had no piercings, I had nothing. I just wore all black. And the first chance I got, if I got a black cowboy hat, oh hell yeah, I'm wearing that. I
Hell
rolled it
yeah.
out. I rolled it out.
That's cool.
That's really
Yeah.
cool.
It's like
I just lost power.
the attachment you can get to the story and like how it really influenced your like day-to-day life and aspirations, and that was a big one for most people. Taker losing to
Oh yeah.
Lesnar.
Oh yeah. Like a lot of that came with it because it was more or less what I felt in that moment was all right. Like this is what I have to do. Like this is what I have to do. Like this is my calling. This is everything that I thought I didn't want, but it actually came to me. There was even like another time when Horror Slam first started, when Horror Slam was fresh, and they first brought in Nick Gage, and I
Hmm.
was going through like a rough time in my life at that time. I was 18, already had my first kid by this point. I am a devious child. I'm just going to throw that out there. I'm a devious child. And I was going through it. It was to the point where, I had more mental issues starting to come out that I didn't actually even know of. And I just went to a Horror Slam show because I told myself this might be the last time I might be at a show. There's no telling what's going to happen from here. And I stayed around. I helped tear down as usual, clean up barbed wire, glass, you name it. And Nick came up to me and he was like, "Hey, look, I don't know if anybody else told you this, but if they don't tell you that they appreciate you, I just want you to know that I appreciate you." And me and Nick sat there and talked for a little bit. I told him what was going on in my life, and he told me that no matter what happens in your life, that you came here because you felt safe. You came here because this is your safe haven.
Hmm.
And no matter what happens in your life, just remember that pro wrestling will forever be here for you. And I would like to see you live long enough so we can go one on one at some point. And that's what kept me around a lot longer was the words from Nick Gage to just keep me here, keep me going, and push the moniker. Though I didn't officially finish training till last year, but it kept the mindset of, I got people here that want to see me in this
Yeah.
business. Chuck Stein, another one that was always who knew of me, was another one that was always like, hey, I love seeing you at the shows. You're the most enthusiastic fan we got. And that's what always kept me around was I would like to do what Nick did for me. And the same thing that professional wrestling has done for me and others is when you're having a bad day, come and watch me maybe get my ass kicked, but at least watch me take that pain away for a little bit, even if it's a 6 minute, 10 minute, 30 minute match. Let me at least help you the way that this ring, the people, everything about it helped me at one
Yeah.
point.
I love that. I
Just
love that.
to clarify, you guys can hear me okay, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay,
you're all
because
good.
I don't know if you guys saw, but my lights went out. I just lost power like a second ago,
I
so
seen
I'm
that.
just making
Four
sure.
When we started
times.
talking about the Undertaker, bro, the lights went out.
Hey,
Yeah,
what can I say? I maybe I know the guy. You don't know.
Uh,
So what was it work? What was it like working with Nate Matson?
Man, Nate Matson was one of the guys that when I got into indie pro wrestling, which is funny because it was actually around the same exact time that I figured out I actually wanted to be like a wrestler. It was that moment with Nate because Nate could tell that I was kind of like, like fidgety about it, but like he was there to basically guide me. And it was funny too because before that match was even announced, me and him had talked at IWR, and we were talking about work. Like that was more of my basically reminding me like, hey, like you are here for a reason, and this did not just happen coincidentally. Like this is the reward that you got for sticking around and like feeling it out and just doing what you love.
Yeah,
And you got to work with one of your Michigan heroes. It was a blast. It was a blast. Like I felt that electricity. Like it was a different feeling coming out with Nate Matson when at one point you sat there as a fan and cheered that guy. Like
yeah,
it is a feeling, and I don't even know how to describe it. It was just basically like if you were as a kid you see your hero and you're like, oh man, I want to go talk to him, but you got the jitters. It's kind of like that, but working with him, oh man, that was
yeah.
something.
that's
that was
That's
awesome.
really
the
cool.
that was the best I probably have best performance I think I've ever really put on in my short time in the business, really.
Yeah, and I saw you like raised your hand at the end too and stuff. I'm sure that meant like a lot.
Man, wasn't something I expected. It was not anything I expected. It was the just that moment of him raising my hand again. It was like, whoa, like I never dreamed of this. I never expected this. I'm here and I'm living it, so I'm gonna live it up.
That's
That's really
awesome.
good though. That's real.
So, what is like your favorite match that you've ever been a part of, like in any promotion? It doesn't just have to be like Horror Slam or anything, but your favorite at all.
Man, I I I will break it down and not dance. I don't dance, but I will break it down because it's hard for being a year in. It's hard to really like figure out what my favorite matches are versus my favorite moments.
Hmm.
But I know when I like my top two or maybe top three, my debut match, which was against the world champion of New Edge, Kenny Steele, because it was a moment where you put 10 years worth of work in for your family and friends to be there to finally watch this moment happen. And given I got punched in the mouth and kicked in the face a lot, but it was the moment that did it. And shortly after that, I got to meet and wrestle Schwartzy for the first time, and that was kind of like testing my skills more or less, because that was like my third match in, and I blew Schwartzy out of the water so much that like now I'm considered one of his family, and it meant a lot. It meant a lot. But I think like the biggest one was back in September of last year. I had a Purge Rules match with Sean Tyler,
Hmm.
and it wasn't. It was at Chaos, and it was something that wasn't actually originally supposed to be a Purge Rules match, but it took a lot of convincing of not only him but the promoter as well, Rob, to just let it go. And the most that anybody thought of was it was just going to be a regular match. Like, no, I brought chairs, I brought thumbtacks, I brought so much stuff because I knew that this is how this is going to go down. And again, it's just one of your, not just your teacher, but one of the guys that kept you around. And this is the style that you always wanted to work, like working a hardcore death match, street fight, anything. Like I was the Cactus Jack kid growing up. Like I always liked doing crazy, dumb stuff. And having that moment there was just, I just want more street fights. That's all I want.
It's awesome.
I want death matches. Give me whatever. I just want to get hit with something and hit somebody harder with it.
So you just mentioned Cactus Jack. Are you ever gonna have a match where you light a table on fire? Maybe go
Yes.
through it.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh yeah,
Yes. Oh
that's
yeah,
awesome.
absolutely. That there is not many times anymore where I see a flaming table spot aside from in 2K. I don't
Right,
like that. I
it needs
want,
to be more.
yeah, like I want to, like, my goal, because I feel like this is gonna be a question, so I'm gonna get it out the way for you. The goal in wrestling for me, obviously, is to make it to the top one day. But while I am here doing what I am doing, I not only want to experience like the moments, the little moments that I had as a kid watching everybody else, but it's like guys that I want to work with,
Hmm.
like Chuck Stein, one of the guys I want to work with, and have some type of crazy ending, aside from basically getting nail gun to the mat. That would not be up there, but if you want me to do it, I'll do it. Um, MM3, another guy that kept me here a little bit longer, has been like the guy I've been chasing. Tommy Vendetta.
Tom,
There's so many like deathmatch wrestlers and so much like hardcore style like in Michigan, that there's so many crazy things that I can just come up with, and then what they could come up with, I don't know. But if you give me some gasoline or some lighter fluid, something's getting lit on fire. I do not care if it's a table, a ladder, a chair, 2x4 wrapped in barbed wire. I will light it
I'll
on fire.
make sure I bring some.
I, I'm not gonna burn the building down, but I'm gonna probably light somebody on fire, and
Yeah,
somebody might be me.
yeah. I'll make sure I bring some lighter fluid next time I pop out and you're there.
Yes, sir.
I
Please.
got you.
I know Rachel sometimes watches this, so if you ever like, if she is watching this, she does like the death matches, obviously, as you know. That would be really cool to see. So let's get in a death match. That'd be
Yeah.
awesome.
Yes, please push. I've been pushing for a death match since I like finally got out. And at one point I did work with Rachel as well and with Horror Slam.
Hmm.
And I am now coming back into the fray now as a actual wrestler now. So the goal this year is to have a death match regardless. Like it does not matter if it's at Horror Slam, it does not matter if it's at Flophouse, it don't matter where it is. I love to just be violent, and I love bleeding. I love making other people bleed. That is my thing. I love doing that. Like, I didn't get the moniker "young dirty bastard" for
There you
nothing.
go.
Like, that's just that's like
Agreed.
what I like to do. I like violence.
So like keeping with this, what is like your like favorite weapon that you like really want to use other than like fire and stuff? Like,
No, oh man, there's a lot of weapons.
You
I would
could do a Terry
say,
Funk, do a chainsaw.
man, I was just talking about that yesterday. That's funny. That's funny that you said that. Um, I think like the one weapon that I actually thought up as a kid um, was I've never seen anybody actually wrap a kendo stick in barbed wire,
I
and
don't think
now
so.
Yeah,
I am an adult with money and I can do whatever I want. So when I have the time and I have the money, I'm getting me a kendo stick and I'm wrapping it in barbed wire, and that because I can't do a barbed wire bat.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's too many guys that do that now. You got to be
yeah,
different.
right.
And I took the idea from watching Abyss and TNA with Janice, where it's the nailed 2x4, and I was like, well, let's not kill anybody, but let's make them remember who you are. And that right there would be it. The barbed wire kendo stick. No matter what you do, no matter how far you run, I'm just gonna swing and it's gonna hurt.
That's
yeah.
awesome. Hey, it's
That's really
Sean's
cool.
idea. We coined it right here, right on the podcast.
And nobody steal my idea. So help me God, I will make a bigger, badder version of it, and I will swing on you.
There you go.
Don't steal
Um,
my ideas.
Yeah, I made like a paddle that's got like barbed wire on it. Well, actually, I didn't make it. My grandpa made it, and it's like really cool. It's super heavy though, but like those things are sharp. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
lie.
barbed wire is something that like you just can't play
Yeah,
with. And lucky for me, like I said, I tearing down horror slam. You sometimes get stuck in barbed wire, and I do have like an inspired barbed wire bat. In fact, it's actually right here. I do got an inspired barbed wire bat.
oh
It was after
man,
Lucille from
oh,
The Walking Dead, and it was actually something that Chuck Stein wanted to see, and I was like, "Well, I'll bring it to you." And then I got pulled over, and the cop asked me, "What are you doing with that?" And I'm like, "I'm a wrestler." And he's like, "Oh, okay." So obviously, don't take it nowhere, but it was one of those things where it mimicked DBA in a way, and that was something I didn't want to do, and that's why I don't use it. So that's why barbed wire kendo stick is still one of the things I'm
yeah,
going to probably use and start coming out with.
yeah. Keep it original.
that's fire.
Yeah, just be different. Just be
Yeah,
different. There's so many my move set is already a copycat of a lot of different things, but I if anything, if I can change the perception of the younger guys tend to copy and mimic moves.
mhm.
Well, listen, I can mimic moves, but you can't mimic wrapping like a pillow in barbed wire and then just hitting somebody with it. You just
Yeah,
can't.
yeah. And I
What
feel like
hoodie
a
do you
lot of
have
people
on?
use like the same moves and stuff because like I mean, there's a lot of moves, but like there's not like tons and tons of it, and like you gotta be safe by doing it still, kind of at the same time. So like I don't know. Like, I don't feel like there's really much of a problem with you using other people's moves. I mean, because, like, a lot of people use the pile driver and stuff like that, and, like, frog splashes and everything else. So, like,
Yeah,
I think, yeah. So, but keeping it, like, original, using, like, the kendo stick wrapped in, like, barbed wire, that's really cool.
I can innovate. Like my best strength is really thinking on the fly,
Hmm.
and I can you tell me one thing and I'm going into this and it can get twisted
Yeah.
completely. That doesn't mean I'm not going to find some type of way to change it and make it different. And I see
Hmm.
you, Castro. I'm not ducking you. I told you I will punch you in the face anytime, anywhere.
What hoodie do you have on?
What was that?
What hoodie do you have on? Is it anime?
Yes. Spy X Family.
That's the question I have for you now. Do you what's like animes and whatnot like inspire your like career and whatnot? Like I'm a big music guy and I just started dabbling into anime, but
Yeah.
I'm already like seeing things that like when I start wrestling that I'm like, I could work this in something.
So there are like 4 pinnacle anime that like got me through my teenage years and got me to adulthood. The 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 fighting spirit that Goku has in Dragon Ball Z will always stay with
Oh
me.
yeah.
The ability to conversate with people even when even if you're in the wrong or even when you're not in the wrong, like the ability to talk somebody down like Naruto has always been one of my things. And the mysterious, a lot of people always told me, especially like whenever I work, is because of the dark that I wear, like the black that I wear, it always gave like a mysterious vibe where it was not a bad vibe, but it's like there's more to learn about me than what I always lead on.
Yeah.
And there was a anime that was like basically an inspiration of kind of like Batman, and it was called Darker Than Black. And the main character had a mask. He was a contractor, basically a hitman with superpowers.
Hmm.
And, that's what he wore was a long black coat, which I also have. I just ain't wearing it right now because my heat's running.
Yeah.
So I don't want to die. And one of my favorite shows, like of all time, um, is actually one of the shows that brought me one of my bestest friends in the world. Soul Eater. Soul Eater in one episode got me hooked because somebody flew through a window, saw a naked woman, and yelled it out as loud as possible. And I went to school one day. I just like mumbled it a little bit, and one of my buddies looked over at me, and he was like, "So you watched that show too, huh?" And I thought, oh boy, oh boy, I'm about to get bullied. And he's like, no, no, I like that show. You want to be friends? Sure.
There
That's
you
really cool.
go.
And ever since
You make
then, we have been best friends.
Yeah. I feel like that's kind of like the same thing with wrestling now. It's like I know a lot of people who are like scared to say they like wrestling in front of people because like everybody's like, oh, it's fake. Why do you watch it? Kind of stuff. I'm like, so if you watch like Marvel and kind of, well, actually, I heard this one from Andrew. If you like Marvel and you like those kind of moves and stuff, those are fake. Obviously, there's not Spider-Man swinging around all over the place.
Right.
I mean, it's entertainment, and like I know like one of my closest friends, not Hayden, but he really likes wrestling, but he doesn't wear like he has like a bunch of wrestling shirts, but he won't wear any of them at school because he's scared of what people are gonna think of him. And I'm like, me personally, like I don't care. Like wear like whatever because like I had a John Cena shirt on today. I mean, I wore like a Penta shirt a few days ago.
Oh,
Roman
yes.
Reigns,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. So
yeah,
Like,
my argument with that is like you said, it's entertainment, but it's also like you said too, how it got you through tough times. It's like
yeah,
the disassociation with like the reality that's going on, that to where you're safe and they're able to enjoy that. It's just the same as a Marvel movie or a sitcom or something. It's
yeah,
just it's happening and you can do it.
yeah.
yeah.
Like,
Because
and another close friend of mine came to school one day in a John Cena jersey, like one of the purple ones from like WrestleMania 27.
Oh,
yeah,
oh
And
that's
that's how like, and I became friends with him ever since because of that. And he was like, "You're like the only person that accepted me." Like, bro, I'm trying to wrestle. That's why. Like, I
yeah,
I acknowledge real when I see it, and I'm not gonna like as a kid who got bullied a lot for either liking wrestling or liking anime or whatever music taste I like. Like, I'm in no position to judge you for what you wear, what you like, what you listen to. Like, no, not at all. Like,
yeah,
dude, I am the weird kid in the group, and I was the leader of the weirdest group in the entire school. So why would I judge you for that?
yeah. And another thing is like if something happens like at school or something like that, like I've gotten in like trouble at school or something, or like something happened at school, and like I'd be like really like upset, kind of like not like upset like where I'm about to cry, but like where like it's like I can feel it kind
Yeah,
of, and basically like if I have like wrestling the next day and stuff, like it really helps me like move forward and stuff. Like okay, you have this to look forward to and stuff like that, and like don't let these like people like get you and stuff, and like whenever I see people with like a wrestling shirt, like even if I'm like with like one of my friends who doesn't like wrestling, I'll be like, "Hey, nice shirt" or something like that, just so like they know like you're not like alone in a way, and people like
Mhm.
wrestling and stuff. And like don't try to hide it or like that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Like it's
yeah.
okay to just be you.
It's all right to be you, and like at the end of the day, and like you said too, you guys are still in school,
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm online. I had some stuff happen, so I do like
I,
little at
I
home.
respect it. That's why I ended up going online too.
Yep.
I don't blame you.
Yep.
I don't blame you.
I mean, it
But
gets me to
when
wrestling faster.
yeah, I like when I was there, like the moniker of trying to fit in just wasn't it. Especially like once I got to high
yeah,
school, it was just like no, like to fit in, you have to do wrong things.
yes,
And I'm not doing wrong things or changing the way I talk or how I talk or this, that, and another. I'm not going to go out of my way to spend $300 on some Jordans just to never wear them and look cool. Like, I like walking around in boots. I like having my chain wallet. And if I really get mad that day, I'm riding my bike through the school because I'm that guy. Like, it wasn't anything like to me it wasn't a popularity contest. It was I'm here to support the people that tough it out every day.
yeah.
And I'm one of those people that tough it out every day. Given I did get suspended a lot because I didn't want to be in school, that is a different story. I just showed up to help you guys.
That's fine.
That was it.
So this is actually our last question.
Yeah,
Thank you again for doing this with us. It means the world to us. We really do appreciate it. You've been really nice and like really
I've
cool.
learned
And
a lot.
yes.
of course.
So what is your favorite move that you've landed, or like what is one move that you really want to learn?
So between like my favorite move that I've learned, um, the best move I have learned actually was the springboard cutter. Then,
Hmm.
of course, when I started doing it, everybody does
Yeah.
it. So I pretty much kind of toned it down on using it. Um, but like to use like Seth Rollins's curve stomp. That was like one of those moves where like I would play 2K with the guys, and if I'm lining you up, you're about to get stomped.
Yeah.
And that was like one of those moves that I like doing. Aside from the Stone Cold Stunner, that will forever be one of my top tier favorite moves. But a move that I want to learn is the Tombstone Pile Driver. That
Oh,
is one of the like definitive factors in why I do this. So why would I not use that move, especially
yeah.
when nobody else really uses it aside from Soul Taker? Please, for the love of God, do not kill me. I do want to use the Tombstone Pile Driver, not just a regular pile driver, because at this point everybody kicks out of a regular pile driver unless TOV is hitting it on you.
Yeah.
And that and a Canadian destroyer. That's why I gave up on even touching that move. Um, the Tombstone pile driver is by far the one move where if somebody kicks out of that, it's like whoa, like
Yeah.
what's going on here? Like that is the no pun intended nail in the coffin on a match.
Yeah.
I like the super kick because every time like I've wrestled with my friends, I've always been littler. Oh my god, littlest person, littler or whatever.
Yeah,
I'm 5'3", 5'4". So when I do a super kick and like plus the thigh slap, it looks like I'm putting everything into it, like my whole body. It's not just like raising the leg like some wrestlers do. I give it my all,
yeah,
and
yeah.
it's one of my favorite moves to use.
Yeah, the before the super kick was worn out by the Young Bucks, God.
Yeah,
The sweet chin music itself, what made that so cool was not just like the thigh slap and everything. It was the you tune up the band, you get it ready to go, you got the crowd counting with you, and then once it hits, that's probably it.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's what made
Or
that move
bring it
so
back.
awesome.
Got to bring that back. That's what I'm gonna try to do. Make the super kick good again.
Make the super kick great again.
There we go. Yeah, got to do it. You got to do it. The Young Bucks wore it out. The Usos. I got to fix it.
Man, you know what, too? I said that too. I said that a lot of moves that people use a lot, are gonna be like the staple for me.
Hmm.
But I'm gonna let you do the super kick thing because that right there, you know what to do. I'm gonna let you do
Thank
it.